Good morning, everyone. This is Yvonne Mason, your friendly and diabolical and creepy independent author. As most of you know, I have been doing podcasts about various things. Some of them inspirational, some of them about my books, some of them just mad ramblings of someone who's from the South. This morning, I wanted to take a minute to talk about how we attack our work. You know, we go to work every day, and even if we work at home or if we have a job outside of the home, how do we attack that work? Have you ever thought about it? Most of you know what I mean. Do you approach it as something that is challenging, fun, exciting, or do you approach it with dread and foreboding? Just let me get through this day and without hurting somebody or yelling at somebody or being seen by anybody. I ask this question because most of us do the latter. We hate our job. We hate the people at our job. We hate what the job is about. And we hate it so much that each morning becomes a challenge to get out of bed and face the day. We hit that snooze button and hit it and hit it and hit it till we find ourselves jumping through our clothes, jumping in the car, and jumping to work before we're late, so we don't have our head wrapped around a good day. And it's not only sad that we do this, but it is bad for our mental and physical health. We spend so much time thinking about how much we hate our job, despise our boss, detest our coworkers, that we forget to be grateful for that end result. How many of you know what that end result is? That is the paycheck at the end of the day. We must ask ourselves, why do we hate our job? Why is it so hard to make ourselves go to work every day? Why do we spend the entire week living for Friday afternoon? And then we dread Monday morning. The weeks drag, the weekends fly. For most people, it is the fact they're working at a job they feel it is beneath them. They have bosses and coworkers they feel don't understand them. Maybe they feel they are not appreciated, or maybe they even feel they are taken for granted, so they dread the sound of the alarm clock. This is so sad and so unproductive. We waste our life wanting more, saying, if I just had another job, another house, another life. We should instead show up at our job with self-confidence, with the desire to learn more about the company, the people, and yes, even our own job. We should walk through that door with a smile and our head held high. But why, you might ask? This answer is quite simple. We are responsible for our own happiness and our own self-confidence. No one else is. We are responsible for the way we approach our job. Our attitude and our behavior affects how others react toward us. But you might say, I never see anyone, not the public, not my coworkers, not anyone. My response is, oh, yes, you do. Even if it is on an assembly line, one interacts with others. Okay, how do I solve this, you might ask? Well, my friends, the first thing you do when you get up and your feet hit the floor is you walk to a mirror and you tell yourself good morning with a smile. I know, it is hard, especially for those who cannot function without coffee. But do it anyway. Then you get dressed for the work day. You think of things that you are grateful for. Your health, your home, your ability to get around, food in your stomach, clothes on your back. Remember, these are not entitlements. Remember how you were able to acquire those things. You have a job. Yeah, it is your job. Now, you have the attitude for the day. On your way to work, you think about how well you do that job. It feels pretty good to know you do it well. Attitude is everything. Think about the fact that anything new that is thrown at you, you are willing to learn it, own it, and maybe even teach it to others. As you walk through the door at work, throw back those shoulders, walk straight with your head held high, and a smile on your face. I call it swag. Speak to people, smile at people, greet the workday with excitement. Because you don't ever know how you're going to touch a coworker who's having something going on in their life that no one knows. Now, you are ready to accomplish your work. You will be productive, effective, and efficient. Pretty soon, it will become a part of you, and it will carry over into your personal life. Trust me, I know, I used to be like you. I worked a job I hated. Couldn't stand my boss. Couldn't stand several of the people in the office. Dreaded going to work. Never knew what I was going to get blamed for. And it drugged me down. It drugged my home life down. Drugged my children down. I don't do that anymore. And I guarantee you it takes more energy to be mad, disgruntled, depressed, angry, upset, ill, and aggravated than it does to be upbeat, smiling, and content. So, why don't we make this day count? It might be the last day that we have. It might be the last day that we get to make an impression on someone that is positive. It might be the last day that our children, our partner, our friends, our family see us with a smile on our face and our head held high. And as always, I'm going to read a poem, a couple. The first one is called How You Accomplish Your Work. It's by Julie Herbert. She wrote it in 2012. How do you accomplish your work says a lot about who you are. As many other things can, life can be bizarre. Do you attack your work with confidence that goes for miles, or do you approach with fear, having trouble tackling the piles? To have confidence in your work means you are self-assured. You love everything about your job and feel very secure. If you approach with fear, you're usually not so sure. The work you do makes you uncomfortable, and you definitely don't feel secure. It often makes me wonder how people work in jobs they hate. Sometimes they have no choice, and other times they sit and wait. For those who have a choice to do the work they love, count yourself lucky, and remember to think above. Also, Julie Herbert wrote What If in 2012, asking, what if this and what if that? No good has ever come. The questions that these words ask are not as good as some. What if really means the same as doubting what you've done. You can't go back and change the past. What's done is what is done. What if also can be the words spoke of the unsure. It's just like those who speak the words, I'll try, instead of sure. Saying words of so little power is a wasted pun, not to mention the uncertainty you share with everyone. Next time you find the words, what if, crossing your mind, replace them with more certain words like we should do or we should find. The worst thing any of us can do is this, doubt ourselves from the start. So think about the words you use and choose the words that make you sound smart. There is another one I would like to read. It's called Your Mission by Ellen M.H. Gates. If you cannot on the ocean sail among the swiftest fleet, rocking on the highest billows, laughing at the storms you meet, you can stand among the sailors, anchored yet within the bay. You can lend a hand to help them as they launch their boats away. If you are too weak to journey up the mountains steep and high, you can stand within the valley while the multitudes go by. You can chant in happy measure as they slowly pass along. Though they may forget the singer, they will not forget the song. If you cannot in the harvest garner up the richest sheaves, many a grain, both ripe and golden, off the careless reaper leaves, go and glean among the briars, growing rank against the wall, for it may be that their shadow hides the heaviest grain of all. Do not then stand idly waiting for some greater work to do. Fortune is a lazy goddess. She will never come to you. Go and toil in thy vineyard. Do not fear to do or dare. If you want a field of labor, you can find it anywhere. And here is another. Would you give your all for your team? Would you give up time for you? But give more to the team if it would benefit the team. Would you lay it all on the line for your team? Would you gladly cheer from the sidelines for your team? Would you take the time and say positive things to every teammate? Would you be willing to be open-minded enough to see everyone's point of view, your coaches included? The one thing that I can do for a team is to contribute the most I possibly can for my teammates. Whether that is being a leader, a supporter, a motivator, an instigator, an inspirer. What I need to remember is that my part as a contributor helps my team the most. When every I can come together as we, is when a team becomes successful. When I am willing to do whatever it takes to open my mind and see what is truly blessed for my team is when I become successful. And that's what I wanted in the first place, isn't it? Do you have what it takes? Dig in, contribute, open your mind, play the game. Then you will win. You see, my friends, we cannot live, work, and play like we live on an island by ourselves. And the way that we accomplish our work is the way that we live our life. If we dread going to work, we dread coming home. We dread being with our friends. It all becomes a negative. And when things become a negative, it saps our energy. So what I want to do today is leave you with this. Put a smile on your face. Tell yourself good morning. Throw your shoulders back. Fake it till you make it. Make every day count. And be successful. If you want to read about someone who is really, really successful, who never should have been, go on Amazon or Barnes & Noble and look up my book, Dreamcatcher. Failure Was Never an Option. This young man who is retarded, who is my brother, has the right, if anyone, to not be successful and to complain about his lot in life, because he has worked jobs that most of us would not, because that was all he was told he could work. He goes to work every day with a smile on his face. He goes to work when he's sick. He goes to work when he's hurting, because he accomplishes his day. So until tomorrow, my friends, I'll leave you with these words. Happy is as happy does, and happy is successful.